Hi, welcome to PDQ Live. I'm Tara.
And I'm Josh.
Today I don't think we have announcements.
No.
What?
Weird, right?
That is super weird. Okay, well, we got more stuff to talk about. We are going to give you the results of this year's State of the Sysadmins. We're going to cover some Windows tips and tricks. Andrew is here to do some PowerShell fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Tips and tricks in PowerShell, I suppose. And then we have some What the Tech. Yeah?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Let's go.
But to get us started, I think it's Andrew. Andrew, you're going to walk us through.
This is the state of system administration.
Well, that took a turn.
That was the new one.
Great turn.
I like it. Hi, Andrew.
So PDQ, yeah, what up? So what is the state of sysadmin though? It's like this thing, we get the state of things. Well, Tara, if you didn't know, PDQ has published the state of sysadmin for 5 years running now, so quite a while. We've had some years to see the trends. And for the 2026 edition, more than 1,000 IT pros were surveyed at the end of last year. I think a lot of our listeners or viewers are some of those people, so shout out to you. And today we're going to kind of take a gander at some of the stats and what they tell us.
Wait, Andrew, let me just guess really quick. Everyone is really happy and fulfilled, and they feel like they're getting paid really well, they're appreciated, and they're not going to change jobs anytime soon. Does that sound right?
Tara, you read my notes. Oh my gosh.
Were you here last year?
Sorry, go ahead.
AI fixed everything.
I jest.
AI solved it all. Let's see the slides though. We got some stuff. Yeah. Oh, look at that, Tara. Stress. It is still top of mind. 57% of people are feeling more stressed than last year. And 31% you're holding strong. Maybe you're a veteran and you've kind of seen these trends go on. Because I think like numbers wise, it always seems to be getting stressful, which I don't know if it's possible to always be getting more stressful.
There has to be an upper limit.
What do you think?
There's got to be an upper limit, right?
Is there? I
No.
mean, I think it just comes with the job of being in IT. Stress. That should be like the number one job description. Do you enjoy stress? Be a sysadmin.
I just think realistically, you're never going to ask that question and have someone say, yeah, come to think of it, I'm so much less stressed than I was last year. I think we're always just kind of conditioned to feel this stress and feel like it's, it's there, it's more, it's not going to get better.
Or you become numb to it or used to it. I actually think you're pretty good at that. You handle it really well, I think. Truthfully.
Oh, well, thanks.
You're welcome. Go ahead, Andrew.
Maybe.
Yeah, I guess Josh has been through enough bad days to know that, there's a good day on the other side of it. Not everything will blow up just because one thing blows up.
And if it does, it's okay.
Yeah, exactly what you just said. Yeah.
I think that where it gets slippery, though, is the security aspect because, okay, a security incident happens. We all feel super scared. And if we don't have good visibility into our environments, maybe not a very supportive culture, those concerns can turn into stress really quick, especially if you're not navigating that landscape properly. I'm not speaking about you, Josh. I'm just speaking about sort of what I've seen with people in the industry at large.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assumption of it's like a fear of the unknown, right? Like it's easier to be more calm and relaxed if you are confident in what you like, have visibility and know what's coming next.
Yeah. Well, also,
Exactly.
I might be skipping ahead, but do you have the support that you need?
Sure.
The staff that you need, the money that you need, those all factor into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you see a burning pile of garbage, can you actually take the steps to fix it? Do you have access to water? Because if they're not going to pay the water bill, good luck putting out the fires. But I think a part of that is also there's just a recurring work that you have to do. So the stress and workload, these are everyday tasks that people report that they're doing regularly. So we got timely security patches, monitoring and responding to security things, troubleshooting our lovely end users, which is just great. They never make mistakes with their devices or dump coffee on them. Keeping up with compliance and audits, which can be a fun thing, and then managing legacy systems, which we did the MDT webinar yesterday, and I was surprised there weren't a ton of people who had like Windows XP, based on anecdotal things people posted in chat. But yeah, a handful here and there. One person said he's completely on like Windows 11 and Server 2025 on all of his like 1,000+ workstations, which that'd be a nice environment to be in.
I'd be like expecting to find like some Windows 7 embedded systems. Like that's like the new flavor of XP floating around. So I'm surprised.
Yeah, some people out there, maybe our viewers right now, have that going on.
Yeah.
Yep. Burnout. Risk retention and burnout are a concern. So there's the bus factor. That thing on the left, 70% people worry about being a single point of failure. I think this can point to teams being a little bit understaffed at times and people having not very well documented processes and a lot laying on their shoulders. And I think that not only if you're a single point of failure, it's a business risk, but I think it's just a stress risk as well. How do you take time off if you know in your head that X, Y, and Z system are going to crash and you care about them and there's no one else who can do it and there's no plans of getting there? What do you all see about that? Do you see a lot of people struggling?
Will you explain that single point of failure? Does that mean like if Josh dies tomorrow, PDQ goes up in flames? Is that what that means?
If Josh was doing his job not very well.
Can I win the lottery instead of dying?
Okay, so that means you feel, no, sorry, you're dead. That means that you as a person, you're the only one that knows how to do your job, and you fear if you are gone, everything goes to crap, right? No redundancies for staffing.
I think there's a lot of interplay between that and like stress level though, right? Because like I have all of this stuff to do that I have to do it to stay on top of it. So that means that I can't document or offload things so that I cannot be a single point of failure. So now I'm a single point of failure and I have all this stuff to do and my stress level just keeps going higher and higher and higher.
Yeah.
Like I think these are like compounding issues. They're not like separate, distinct things.
I totally get that and I feel the pain, but for me, I'm going to put my manager hat on. That's the manager's job to make sure people are trained, redundancy. Everybody should be trained doubly, triply on everything.
Sure, I think
if at all possible.
I think that makes sense when you're an IT team, but when you're an IT staff of one, or an IT staff of two, then what?
Yeah, that's difficult.
Like you actually are probably a single point of failure.
Yeah, I get
right?
that.
It's hard.
It's hard.
Might be a risk that the business chooses to take on though, because they don't have that much that they spend on IT. But not a great spot to be in. And I think that also to tag along with what you're saying, Josh, is the reactive work we saw earlier. And if you're the best person who's troubleshooting, if you're the single point of failure, you're probably an asset in a lot of other ways. And if things always feel like they're on fire, you're probably always being tapped into other things and just really hard to make that progress on planning out projects such as like documenting your processes and training other people. That work can be really hard to do when you are in firefighting mode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's actually really hard to get out of that firefight mode. Like that's a hard thing to do.
It definitely is. I think it's so helpful to have community though, where you can have external points of authority who are like encouraging, who have already made those changes. Because if you're working in an environment where everything's sort of on fire, it is hard to do that for the first time and to sort of even see the path to make that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually makes me really mad for people that are in that situation. That's just bad leadership, I think, to expect that of your sysadmins.
Yeah.
Sorry, Andrew, keep going.
I think it's bad leadership, but also, we have a responsibility to communicate what's going on in IT. And I don't know if everyone always does the best job at communicating that to the leaders above them. Mm-hmm. What do we got here? We got concerns. We got stress. We got risk of burnout. We got single point of failure. And we have a lot of concerns along the way. Security breach is the number one, which I feel like everyone's sort of worried about that. And I think a lot of people, that's when they actually think they're going to get security stuff implemented, is after some big event happens. That's going to be the day they get the budget, they get the consultants and all that good stuff. You got outages, always stressful, unaware risks, delayed security patching, and a whole bunch of other things to go along with it, which are pretty shared. If you look at the numbers, like that's a lot of people sharing similar concerns.
Mm-hmm.
Which is obviously the worst time to get the budget for it is after the event actually happened. So, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm going to. How do you convince leadership that you need the budget now, before? That's crazy to me. That's a high number.
It comes down to like operational and business risk tolerance, right? And sometimes the business decision is to take the risk, right? And if the business decision is to take the risk, like you need to just do everything you can to mitigate it. But it's also on you to educate the business why you're advocating for it.
Yeah.
Right? IT people tend to have a lot of context about the cascading failures or the if this then that, and like can just go from A to Z exceptionally quickly.
Yeah.
Where Z is, I just need money to do the thing.
Yeah.
You need to bring people on the entire journey with you.
Yeah. Show
Why do I need to get to Z? let me take you through all of the steps. These cascading failures cause this process to fail and this to fail.
Yeah.
And then this doesn't happen. That's where, like, I've seen in my career a lot of disconnect is it's just, I'm going to go and ask for money because I need to solve this problem because I know everything that's going to happen.
Yeah. And I'm the one that's going to clean it up, but you're the one that's going to pay the money to clean it up. And when the business fails, bye-bye.
But you're just jumping to so many conclusions along the way. And that's where people fail.
So the journey is what gets them on your team.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yep.
Okay. Because, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm listening and I'm having some bad thoughts because if I go to leadership multiple times and say, hey, I need money. Hey, I'm overworked. Hey, I'm burnt out. I need more money for my team and we need a disaster recovery plan. And I keep hearing no, 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 no. Guess what I'm doing? I'm looking for a new job.
Yeah, but you're also not the only person that's doing that to like leadership, right?
Yeah.
Every other department's doing that. I need more money. I need more of this. I need more of this. The departments that are able to execute and like get the money are the ones that are able to bring the business on the journey.
Yeah, they're effective in their
They're
messaging.
effective in their messaging. They're effective in telling the story.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Andrew. Go ahead. We're going off on a diatribe now. Continue, please.
I mean, we're having fun. I think we're ready for the next slide because there's hope in our future. There's a lot of bad things, a lot of things to be stressed about. Automation and tools. Hey, we got some tools. We like automation around here. This is where people are versus what they want to be. Okay, current state, we're not super automated. On the right, that's where we'd like to be. Everyone wants to be fully or mostly automated for all their processes, which sounds really good on paper. But like you were saying earlier, Josh, executing on these things, making the headway when you're constantly in reactive mode is challenging. Learning new skills when you aren't making time for it is really challenging. It can be very hard to do the things that are the right thing to do when you're super stressed out. I think this represents that sort of numbers wise, but we got to think about that path forward.
Yeah, I'm curious, like from the audience perspective, what does that feel like? What does fully automated feel like? What does 50% automated feel like? What does 75% automated feel like? Like, what are those tasks and individually? Like, and what is done, like, or what is good enough?
Well, and I'm going to add to that, what feels scary to automate?
Sure.
That's a big thing for me.
Yeah. Fair.
If you've never done automation, I think everything can feel scary.
Yeah.
But one thing I think the good IT teams do is they're actually okay with making changes, and they're not sort of always in freeze mode, which I've seen some orgs do. You have to, not saying make raw changes all the time in your environment, but you have to have that be part of your processes. You can't be afraid of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what takes time? Automation, and it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of trial and error. If you don't have time, if you're already overloaded, if you're already burnt out, this can feel overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
Big time.
Yeah, it has to be part of a bigger play, I think. You need to be talking to your management, your leadership to say, hey, here's the problem. We have limited amount of time, expanding resources that we need to sort of manage. In order to make headway on this, I need to start dedicating time to automating these processes. It's going to give slow return on investment early, but long-term, it's going to get us out of a tough spot. And security-wise, we're going to be postured for a much more happy future with hopefully less terrible attacks and less stress and burnout.
Cool. I'm curious, so this next slide talks about like what's not being automated. I think maybe this ties into like Tara, some fear or like freeze mentality. Do you see the same kind of trends in this as you look at it?
Yeah. And I'm also reading our comments and I'm laughing to myself because I literally wasted 2 days of my week fully obsessed with these automations. And I finally had to get Kelly and saying, make me stop, because I was going down so many rabbit holes just to figure out this one automation. And I said this to myself, I'm like, use Josh's mantra. I have 10 minutes and 10 minutes only. It can take forever to figure out these automation things.
Yeah.
But I was just like so committed to get it to work. So I think mine was a very safe environment. I wasn't going to blow anything up, but I was like bound and determined to figure it out. So now imagine you're in a business critical environment. Huge amounts of fear.
Yeah.
So you do have to test it. You do have to start with your test machines and make sure you're not going to blow something up. And you're like, okay, I'm okay. Now I can move on to my medium critical machines. So I absolutely think there's a lot of fear. And I don't think you are going to be doing these testing with your senior people either. They're busy doing other things. So huge amount of fear, as a matter of fact. Yeah, I do think there's fear.
I think so. I think you're right.
Check out the full SOSA report for more.
Yeah.
I think a great first step you can do, start automating things. Start writing down your processes so you can start breaking them out into chunks where you can maybe automate them. At least you got documentation. You can maybe hire somebody else, pass it on to them, so on and so forth. But we got more of this coming next week. This is a pretty big report. Definitely check it out. We have a link that Kelly just posted. And next week, we're going to be talking about the future of sysadmins with AI and autonomy. And if you haven't heard about AI in the past year, well, you haven't been looking.
Oh, I got some stuff for you on What the Tech about that. So yeah, we'll chat.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll chat.
Up next, we're going to jump into some Windows tips. All right. Kicking us off first is Andrew. You're going to walk us through some PowerShell tips. Tara, you're going to walk us through some Windows shortcuts. I'm going to wrap us up with the run dialog box.
Okay.
That thing in Windows that everyone sees and uses a little bit. You can do some fun things with it. So with that, Andrew, take us away.
Hello, quick transition. Yes. Let me get all set up here. We seeing this?
Yeah, we're good.
Oh, am I good though? Okay, perfect. Screen size looks glorious over here. All right, so what are we doing? So recently at PowerShell Wednesday, Tara sent me a message. She's like, "Hey, what's PSReadLine? How do I use it?" And well, I decided to show her a PowerShell Wednesday like a true good coworker. I did not offer her any help in the moment. I forced her to do it live.
That's absolutely true. He did.
That's the best way to learn.
That is, yeah, with the pressure on, with the lights burning.
Yeah,
that's the best way.
And
to
everybody watching.
Thanks, Josh.
That's right.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
We actually have a blog on this too. If you want to check out pdq.com/blog, I can post a link to it in a little bit. But we got PSReadLine. PSReadLine is our way of interacting with PowerShell in the terminal. It's responsible for the cool experience. If you've ever done the up arrow key to like go through previous commands, that right there is PSReadLine working for you. You already have it installed. It ships with PowerShell. You can run git module PSReadLine. If you don't have it, you can install module PSReadLine force. Okay, and get yourself started there. But up arrow is one thing. That's pretty cool. There's a little bit more that we can do, such as, let's do this. Git process. I'm going to do control space. How do I do that on this keyboard? Ba-da-boom. Look at that. So we have this control space. Tab completion is awesome, which is also handled by PSReadLine. But control space gives you a list of all the things you can do. So if I do control space with even less characters, we should see, look at all this, all these different commands that start with git pro. Okay. Same thing it goes for like parameters. I could tab through everything like that. Or we can control space. One more time. Just, oh, whoops. Look at that. All of the options. Now, there's a lot more you can do with PS. Oops, sorry. I'm not used to these hotkeys. There's a lot more you can do with PSReadLine, such as, yeah, I know, I'm new to computers, Tara. I get it.
Oh, you got a new keyboard. I can tell when you're trying to hit space and you're typing Z.
And going from Mac to the other thing.
Yeah.
Well, actually, my Z key, if I hold Z, it turns into control. So if I tap it at Z, it's a whole thing. Yeah. But there's this thing called F1 on our keyboards, the function key, F1. If we press it, it'll actually bring up help for us because using the help is super important in PowerShell. Gives us a lot of good stuff. But if we press F1, you saw I was at the name parameter. Well, it tells me what does the name parameter do? You can specify some stuff using the name. That kind of makes sense. When I'm done reading and learning everything that I need to, I can press Q and look where I'm right where I was. So it's a way that you don't have to like type a command. Oh crap, how do I get it to work? Delete everything, do it again, rinse and repeat for the rest of your life. We've moved past that. All right, let us delete this real quick. And I'll show one other cool thing that we can look at. That is, sorry, I'm not used to it. Control R. So Control R will actually search through your PSReadLine history. So let's say yesterday you wrote a crazy awesome code. It was this one-liner that solved all the problems, made you secure, made you no longer a single point of failure, all this good stuff, but you don't remember what it was, but you remember it had install in it. So I press Control R. You can see it says back search, and we'll do install actually. Look at that. We type it. Okay, that's not the command. Let's press Control R again. And again, and again, and again, and again, and again. And it goes through your entire history to find all of the instances that include whatever you type. And it does a fuzzy search. So you can imagine there's an asterisk at the beginning and the end. And I think I'll leave that as the ending for this. There's more you can do in it. Check the PowerShell Wednesday we did. Check the blog for some other things like key bindings and the other options you can tweak. but there's some simple things you can know about, make your whole PowerShell workflow easier.
I love
That's
it.
super cool.
That is good. I like it. Okay, we're going to close you out. This might be like the fastest speed round because we have a whole bunch of stuff to talk about in What the Tech. So let's just run through these really quick top 25 Windows shortcuts. Okay.
Keyboard shortcuts?
Yeah, keyboard shortcuts.
Okay.
I mean, I don't even know how many we can do. Which ones do you like?
I like, some of them that I like, we probably shouldn't do here. Like the Windows key and arrow keys. So super and arrow keys to snap stuff around.
Ooh, I know. I like those too.
Yeah.
Okay. Which helps? What else do you like?
I like the special paste, like Control Shift V. Like if you want to paste just
Control-Shift
values.
V. Okay.
Like that one's
That
kinda
is
cool.
actually a required thing sometimes.
Okay. Yep.
Like you actually need to know that.
Yeah, you need to know Control Shift V for
Okay.
values or Super Shift V.
Mm-hmm.
What else is
Other
kind of
ones
cool?
do you like?
So new in Windows, new-ish in Windows
Mhm.
is the Windows Control D. Let's not do that one though.
Oh, okay.
That does give you a new virtual desktop,
Oh, I know. I
which
saw
is
that
kind of
one.
cool.
Yeah.
That one's actually
Okay.
kind of fun to flip
Okay.
through as well.
Okay.
But these are kind of cool. Like just like simple like keyboard stuff, like F2 to rename a file.
Yep.
Right,
I
like
saw
it's
that
like
one.
file
too. I like.
F2.
Yep.
They're just stuff that you get to know.
Okay. We're gonna move on because you know what? We have so much to do
All right.
with you because I have a big What the Tech that's funny.
You do?
Yes.
Okay,
it's a
so
good
you're
one.
saying I got to get through this kind of
Yeah.
fast.
Hurry. Go fast.
Okay, so this dialog box here, right? This thing that everybody has, Windows key and R to get to the dialog box. It can do some really cool stuff for you. And so I'm actually just gonna like show you some of these like copy paste, right? Like you can start a browser, right? You can just say I want Chrome, and you're gonna get Chrome, and you can target a specific web page to launch from here. Okay, yeah, that's kind of cool, but not all that awesome. What if I wanted to launch Word? Hey, look, WinWord, and I get Windows or Microsoft Word. But then I can also do stuff like I can launch executables. So I can launch I can launch a shell. I can launch PowerShell. Maybe I want remote desktop, MSTSC. This is a way to get really, really fast and get through all kinds of parts of your system. Maybe you need to stop a service, right? Services.msc. Or maybe you can't remember any of them, but you do remember MMC, right? And then from here, you can add different snap-ins and get all the stuff that you want. I thought that was fun.
That is fun.
But what a lot of people don't know is that if you do this, if we come here, I went to C and created a folder called shortcuts. And in this shortcuts, I'm going to put files and things, and I'm going to prove that it doesn't work, right? I'm going to type Slack right now. Slack doesn't work.
Yeah.
We get an error.
Because it doesn't know what to
Yep.
do.
I'm going to take this Slack shortcut. I'm going to put it in C shortcuts. When I've got all of my shortcuts and things in here named that I want it to be, maybe even like this batch file that's just start, you can have it do all kinds of different things. I'm going to open System Properties. I'm going to come to Advanced, Environment Variables. I'm going to come here to Path. I'm going to edit it, and I'm going to add my shortcut directory in this, and then I'm going to restart the computer. I'm sure that there are specific services that you can restart to make it pick that up, but I didn't want to go look for them, so I just restarted it. So now, after I've done that, I have this Slack here from the run dialog box. I can now just call Slack.
So you're basically making like a run profile for yourself.
Yeah,
kinda.
yeah. So
Andrew was talking about this in PowerShell yesterday. This is hilarious that you're doing the same thing for run now.
and it just keeps you from having to like get to all kinds of different things, right? So like I can put Chrome because that's added to path. Anything that's added to path, and then you can get away from having to use this silly mouse thing
I mean, that's for suckers.
and just
obviously.
live on your keyboard. The funny thing is, so the search bar, kind of, it used to in previous editions of Windows, used to do the same thing. But now it's actually like this fuzzy search, and some of the stuff works, and it'll find it, but not all of it. So yeah, this run dialog box can be really, really powerful.
That's cool. I like it.
Yeah, so little help speed you around a little bit.
Okay.
All right.
So we kind of stumbled onto that with II in PowerShell. It looks to be a similar functionality to me. Maybe not exactly the same. But,
Sure.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. A little
Okay.
bit, yeah. All righty.
Love it.
Okay, that's it for the tips. Let's get into
Okay.
what the tech.
All right.
What the tech?
All right.
Can't kill.
What's going on this week?
Oh my gosh,
Or
so-
past few weeks, Tara?
So many things happened that I kind of had to just narrow it down this morning. Yes, invoke item, Andrew. Thank you. So, do you know what OpenClaw is?
Uh-huh.
Okay, you do.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I dumbed it down. It's an open source AI agent that can autonomously perform tasks on your computer and online services by combining large language models with automation tools. So it's just a Josh bot.
Thank you.
It can do other services, not just chat with you. It does it on its own, though.
Uh-huh.
For those of you that don't know what it is, I decided to go look it up. So it has gone rogue this week. So I went
This week?
Well, this week in particular.
Okay.
It's done some bad things.
Yeah,
So
all right.
not only has it gone rogue, there's been a few major security flaws that have happened this week. My favorite one so far, though, happened with a Meta bigwig. She let it loose in her mail, and it went on and deleted like thousands of emails. And
I see no problem with this.
no, not at all. And she literally had to run back and unplug her Mac Mini. I think it was a Mac Mini Mac Mini. And when she called it on the carpet and said, "What are you doing?" It was like, "Oh yes, I see. I shouldn't have done that. That was bad." It just went rogue and didn't follow instructions at all. So there was that one. That one was hilarious. Yeah, Meta AI alignment director connected to her inbox, and it immediately started deleting emails. It didn't review them.
I see no problem with this because email is the worst and should be deleted.
Exactly. Another one is it created accounts and immediately applied for 278 jobs. Wasn't told to do it, just did it. Just like, hey, these jobs look good. I'm gonna do it. So there's been over 40,000 exposed instances were discovered online.
Yeah, there's a CVE that's allowed for RCE within oh my gosh, Claude. And it did allow like single click RCE in a lot of setups.
Yeah.
So not only was it like behaving poorly, it was also exploitable.
Yeah, so it's been bad. So the other one that I'm briefly going to cover, and I think everyone knew this, is Claude was down worldwide. That was kind of funny to me. I don't know why it was funny. It was funny just because like it was literally the day after the government was like, "We're not using you. There's some exposure here," and then the next morning, down worldwide. So I just briefly focused on that one. So it came back within a few hours, but yeah, that made me giggle. So
Nice.
Yeah, that's it on that one. But the OpenClaw one made me laugh the most. So
That is kind of funny.
yeah. And then you are going to talk about the Apple event, right?
All right. There was the Apple event. I think it ends today or maybe tomorrow. But I want to start with something that actually came out last week from Apple. And it's that if you hit that's okay. We don't have to go full screen. iPhone and iPad are now approved to handle NATO classified information. So this was just like quietly released in the last like week and a half.
So Claude's out.
iPhone,
iPad in.
iPad are in.
Okay.
Next, Apple, debuted the M5 Pro and M5 Max. So these are about 30% more faster than that of the previous M4 Pro and M4 Max. They also released something brand new, right? The MacBook Neo, which has a starting price of $600, and is designed really for like students and ultra lightweight. This is alongside the M4 powered iPad Air.
Yeah.
So this is a weird product positioning for me, right? Is I have an iPad with an M4, and then I have a Neo, a full-size laptop powered with an A18.
Is it little?
It's littler,
It looks
right?
like a baby.
So it's like I have iPad OS running an M4, like the full like desktop chip that was really still a good processor. And then I have this MacBook Neo that's running an A18, which is still a great processor, but then full Mac OS. I'm not really understanding these two side by side. I don't get it.
You going to get one?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not. But for $600, that's probably a good machine to just cruise the internet with. And then, 17E comes out. Nothing really special about this other than this is the new, I guess, like budget
It's small.
iPhone. It is smaller.
So it's an E.
And the 17E is now out. So that's kind of what's come out of the Apple event so far. But yeah.
You're not really one to go buy things the second they come out, are you?
Well, how about this? We did just place an order for like 30 new M5 Pro MacBooks. Like the day they came out for pre-order. We were just like, yes, buy. So.
For you?
No, I don't get an upgrade this year.
Huh.
No, my upgrade's, I think, 18 months away. But yeah, so that's what's come out of the Apple event. I think the Neo's cool-ish for what it is. To get into that Apple laptop ecosystem, that's as cheap as you're going to do it.
Yeah.
But you can still buy an iPad with a very powerful processor to be way more expensive than a MacBook Air. I don't know. I don't get the whole lineup.
But you personally, you're not one to clamor to buy the new, latest and greatest?
Not necessarily. No, not always. No.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Josh.
Do you have an iPhone?
I do.
What model?
It's a 16 Pro.
Okay. Timed upgrade.
It is not. It is not. I usually get a new
They're all the
iPhone
same.
like every 3 years is about as often as I get a new iPhone. Like my tech usually lives 3 years.
I think I'm still on a 13. Is that bad?
No, you're all right.
Okay.
Does it work?
Yeah.
You're all right.
Yeah, it's working.
It's not good.
I did rock a 12 mini for a very long time just because it was so small.
There you go.
I just upgraded my 12 mini to a 16. It was a birthday gift.
There you go.
I say keep it as long as it's working. Why? Why bother?
I don't know, because I don't want to have a problem with it. I don't ever want to get into that place with tech where they're like, oh, it's so old, you can't do anything. I can't upgrade. Right? Because that is a path.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
All right, well, thanks for coming on the journey with us today, everybody. For PDQ, I'm Josh.
I'm Tara.
That's Andrew over there. Thank you so much for joining us. Do us a couple favors, if you wouldn't mind. Like and subscribe to us on YouTube. It makes us happy. Leave us your comments. That makes us smile. And please join us for the party on Discord. That will make you happy and smile. Have a great week. We'll see you back here next time.